All right, guys, I am back from my weekend hiatus. I wasn't intending to take the entire weekend off, but we had barbecues and baseball games and all sorts of fun stuff going on. So lots of crazy busyness. And I am back now, back to the Mondays, even though Mondays kind of suck, but we are all in this together. So that being said, I want to catch up on Black Myth Wukong a little bit. This game has become not just a success, but a massive success. It has become kind of a movement all in itself to revitalize the games industry and kind of point things in the right direction, because this game has sold nearly 20 million units. And it's simply because of the fact that Game Science, the studio, the developers behind it, said, you know what, we just want to tell a fantastic story that's immersed in our wonderful Chinese culture and give gamers across the world an experience that they will love and cherish. And that's honestly been the reception by most people. There's the occasional person who's like, oh, this game sucks. The invisible walls are terrible. And yeah, if I was to knock it for anything, maybe like half a point, I'd say some of the invisible walls, not great the way they're laid out. There's a lot of areas that seem like you should be able to access them, but you just hit a wall and you can't. Oh, well. So knock it down half a point. I'm still going to say this game's like easily a 9 out of 10. So that being said, obviously I'm not in the minority because this game is just doing fantastic. They've already generated over $800 million in revenue. It's probably closer to $1 billion at this point. And you can currently see that even on a Sunday night, there are still 350,000 people playing it. And I know that's probably a large percentage of Chinese players. Okay. But the game still hit 2.4 million players at its highest concurrent peak, and that was just 18 days ago. Once the DLC comes out for this game will probably crush 3 million concurrent players if it takes a year for the DLC to come out, because there will be brand new players coming to check this thing out. All the original players will come back, and this game's going to do numbers for years to come. Speaking of games that are going to do numbers, there are a lot of fantastic games on Instant Gaming that you can check out. If you enjoy the current games such as Space Marine 2, Final Fantasy 16 Complete Edition, all here on Instant Gaming for $61.50, you can come check them out. They've got pre-orders available for all of these games, even Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 Gold Edition for $61 and change. And of course, the current month's giveaway. Guys, last month's giveaway ended about 8 days ago, so you need to re-enroll. If you previously participated in the last month's giveaway for the free key from Instant Gaming, you have got to hit participate to get into this month. We still have got 21 days to go. Click the link down in the description below, re-enter, and again, absolutely nothing out of pocket. You can pick whatever key they have on the site, redeem it, and start playing. So again, massive shout out to Instant Gaming. Go check them out. And now I want to kind of touch in on this Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 game, because this game has been fun to watch. I have been covering this game now going back about 6-7 months now, because there's been a lot of controversy shrouding this game. And a lot of it has has had to do with the fact that they had this very strange, seemingly woke narrative writer who was working on the game. And of course, we've seen a lot of other issues with like bugginess and unpolished graphics and whatnot. That being said, the game, hours before early access even went live, became one of the top selling games on Steam. I'm talking this thing jumped past Black Myth Wukong, not in total sales, but in games that were being purchased that day. Easily. I'm talking this game is crushing numbers. It is doing fantastic. People seem to love it. It's highly praised by most gamers, despite the fact that there are several outlets, such as IGN, I do believe, several of them that actually gave this game a much lower score than it deserved, including one, and I can't remember who it was, that gave it a lower score than the Gollum game. I'm not even kidding. But that being said, the game seems to be doing great. People seem to love it. But of course, we have seen these controversies before where, again, Ashley Cooper, the transgender individual who was one of the writers on this game up until a few years ago, had been previously criticizing people who were playing Hogwarts Legacy, saying basically just come out and say you're transphobic already, attacking capitalism, attacking anybody who, let's say if you were a voice actor or an actor and you portrayed somebody who was transgender, but you're as Ashley Cooper puts it, a cis-het white dude, not he, she, they, them would not be happy with you, essentially. So we've also seen situations such as this attempt at a boycott a few months back, where there was a movement by pro-Ukraine activists to try to cancel the game because there was a Russian developer involved in it. And again, I'm not here to tell you how to feel about it. This is a controversy, a conflict that's been going on for several years on the other side of the planet for me. I understand there's going to be a lot of very, sensitive feelings about it, a lot of very emotional reactions. So I'm just here to report on it. And it was a thing that happened. So again, one more controversy for this game. Then, of course, recently, after all the Adeptus Custodes, retconning, and the gaslighting of the fans from Games Workshop, we got a peek at the first female Adeptus Custodes on film or animation, you should say, and it was a complete shit show. This character that has the jaw of a man who just looks like some gigantic Germanic woman on steroids. I mean, this chick is insane looking, like it's not even believable. It just looks ridiculous. And this is more of the same crap we've seen from Games Workshop. Again, it's surprising that there wasn't a female Space Marine in the game that we're going to talk about in a second, because they just released this recently on Warhammer Plus, and it is as cringe as you can imagine. Just absolutely horrendous to have to look at. So now we're going to talk about Space Marine 2. The game is doing fantastic. It's got 62,000 people currently playing it, and the reality is that most people are happy with it, except for people who feel like we need to see more women in it. I'm not even kidding. So Decker from Kick on Twitter shared these screenshots, and they are absolutely hilarious. We've got this one saying, "Why are girls rejected?" Now, a lot of people believe one of these is satire. It's possible that it is, but this one here seems 100% legitimate. These people, I cannot believe the mindset of some of these whack jobs. This one says, "As a passionate female gamer who enjoys a variety of games with my boyfriend," I mean, let's just stop right there. If you only enjoy video games because you're playing them with your boyfriend, you're not a gamer. If you're not going to play them on your own, you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. You like them casually. You'll play them with somebody else, but you're not playing them on your own. I can't help but feel excluded from the world of Space Marine and Warhammer 40,000. Many other girls likely, so she's assuming, share this sentiment, and I'd love to explain why, hoping you'll hear me out. First and foremost, the prevailing dude bro culture surrounding these games is anything but welcoming to female players. Okay, so don't play it. Then it's not for you. We are greeted by a hyper-masculine atmosphere that seems to echo a frat party vibe, making it uncomfortable for us to dive into these worlds. Moreover, there's a glaring lack of female characters available in these games. There's simply no option for us to choose a character that represents our gender. It's as if we're invisible in this universe. You're not invisible. They're just not Space Marines. It's that simple. When my boyfriend and I enjoy playing games together, whether it's a massive multiplayer online game or a classic CRPG, we love engaging in a form of roleplay that mirrors our real-life relationship. In games like WoW, we can have fun creating characters that resemble us, allowing us to venture into the virtual world as a couple, even going on in-game dates at enchanting locations like a tavern or festival. We're done with this conversation. I don't think we even need to touch on the rest of this. It doesn't get any better. Then here's the one that people think is just bait, but I don't know. You guys tell me. You shouldn't play the game until they add female Space Marines, and here's why. Before you lose it and call me woke, listen up. There are people who have been stomped on for centuries, and we're finally at a point where we can start to make things right. How can you sit there and play a game made by devs who are openly sexist while also refusing to add even a shred of diversity? What's the big deal with having a single Marine who's intersex, LGBTQ, or female in the game? Just one character that could be on screen for 5 seconds and it wouldn't hurt you at all. And again, this is a lie, because then they'd say it's not enough. Why could you only have it for 5 seconds? Why do you feel like you have to shoehorn us in there without actually representing us? They would always complain about it. Then this one here is just fantastic. Proof: female Space Marines already exist. All you need to create a Space Marine is someone with the correct genetic markers that render you eligible to transplant the gene seed. This is not exclusive to just men, but also women who have the same genetic makeup. For instance, someone who is genetically male, but due to not being able to metabolize androgens, will develop as a biological woman for the most part. See Swire syndrome, for instance. And again, this is the funny thing, because that Swire syndrome is something that they tried to talk about that boxer who was in the Olympics. I cannot remember her name, Khalif something, or his. I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I have no clue, to be honest. I'm still confused by that entire scenario. Such women would be able to partake in the process in which they can turn into Space Marines because the pertinent factors surrounding their genes make them suitable candidates. The absolute hoops that these people jump through, like the mental gymnastics that they do, is unbelievable. So yes, female Space Marines exist. If Alicia Roth-Weigel was born in the 40K universe, then she'd be a Space Marine. All right. So again, this is just the same sad attempt we've seen from a few people online to try to cancel this game. But again, The numbers don't lie. It reached 134,000 at its peak 3 days ago, still going 60,000 strong on Sunday night. The game is going to be out of early access tomorrow, I do believe, so it should open up to everybody. And those numbers there should be astronomically large. I've considered picking this game up. I just don't know that I have time right now, and I know a lot of people are like into the PvP co-op stuff. Maybe down the road I'll pick it up, but I am going to assume this game is just going to shoot up higher and higher in the numbers. And again, fans all seem to love it. So once again, another failed boycott, another successful game for the fans, for the gamers. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and I will catch you on the next one.